Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Oduduwa Nation.
Yes. What can you be doing when you do some hip hop, some chats?
No, I didn't. You know, this wasn't there before. This is.
This is just now.
No, the first one that she was today was well. Then we go. Second one, the lady, then they print Larroy. Larroy, maybe.
It's basically the same. If you don't change the menu or shoulder, maybe contribution then your words are changing your mistakes. Like assembly they did. Then they say it's article and something we should be and then come out and making changes. People who have no commitment to the boss.
Maybe this is where we are likely to interview
After today, you want an interview again?
No.
What's this thing?
Expensive. I never knew you were the person. I just
Okay.
Sure, you should have an interview, no problem.
Yeah, give me your number. I'll call you. Give me your number. I'll call you and send you.
This is from the nation.
Yes.
I want to speak.
The nation is a political paper now.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
No,
Publishing like it.
She's streaming Twitter. She's streaming on Facebook. I'm streaming on Twitter. So, speak with her. Someone to come and play. Get a very chin copy second line.
How do you know it's the person? That's where I'm sitting.
No.
How do you know I'm the person? Say it.
This is the woman. This is the only woman.
Oduduwa Nation.
When I saw this,
Do you know my name before?
so when I saw and I saw this,
Put two and two together.
yes.
It's easy now. I mean, it's not easy now. What? It is very bad. I'm in trouble here.
In certain things.
Fish is a fish or something.
For you, and then 2 more.
You have to instruct him now. See, my people never know.
Or did you bring your? They didn't bring their.
You didn't bring your microphone and all that.
No. What do you call it? Your.
No, make use of this and except.
Okay, that is that is television. Yeah. This one paper and
Thank you. I'm done.
I thought we should have had one television.
And that's why they brought heritage and.
Where is the heritage?
Heritage.
How to go live?
It doesn't matter. So the Zoom is being streamed live. We are streaming it live, so it doesn't matter.
On Zoom.
On Facebook. And YouTube.
Is the Facebook on?
We're live on Facebook.
On Twitter.
Okay.
So as soon as it goes live now,
I can just go straight into my speech. So don't waste time. we can still make news tonight.
Anyway, why is it time that will make noise?
Yeah, past 2, 7 minutes past 2.
Coordinator, where are we?
In a short bit.
Just start. Since it's television, you don't need to show.
No, let them.
Minimum
Let
people are
them.
sitting
No,
there.
let them.
What I even mean is, we don't
Once the speech is going on, we can pan the camera.
They know what to do at that time.
That's what I'm telling you. That don't pan the camera
Okay.
because there's not too many people.
Oh.
Except they get up and go and sit there.
No, they're fine like that.
And it's not good for you to be alone here.
Ìjàngbara òde lọ, Adéfìrè.
Not that. I didn't feel it.
I did it.
Ẹni tó ní kó bá wà yẹ gbogbo níbi wà fún gbajú.
Èyí àti sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí àná ló mọjọ́.
And I told Adesho, people who are joking with I sent it to Akinolabi without any explanation.
Maxwell kọ́. Maxwell. Tó dá wà láyé.
Maxwell. See, look at that. Maybe it's only research.
Òun ló ní kí bàbá ṣe kí ní ẹ̀. Maxwell. Láti ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe.
What is wrong with
You can join that one later. But this is the main one.
Please, where are you from, please?
From Nigerian Tribune.
Tribune.
Sit down in front. Don't go to the back. Sit down here. Sit down here.
Doing that.
Yeah, that's what maybe you open from that side. So open that door.
Your name?
And put the share inside. Better. It's still better than there. So when they come, just open down the So, your pencil is to put them through the chair. Put them down. At your knife.
I'm probably.
That's okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Good afternoon. All right. Akiwa káàsán ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Aki gbogbo wa káàsán sí ìkéde pàtàkì tí ó fẹ́ wáyé ní ọ̀sán yìí. A rọ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, gbogbo ọmọlúàbí Yorùbá kí wọ́n bá wa ká lọ bí a ṣe máa fi ìkéde yìí síta ní ọ̀sán. A gbé agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ fún àwọn màmá wa. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ka ìkéde náà. Ẹ wá foríjì wá wípé èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ni ìkéde náà ti wá. A máa tẹ àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ sí orí ayélujára wa láti fi èyí tí ó jẹ́ èdè Yorùbá sílẹ̀. Ẹ bá wa ká lọ. Ẹ ṣé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí tí ẹ fi àsìkò lẹ̀ láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa.
Thank you. Gbogbo ilé. This is a special. Ọmọ mi ti ṣàlàyé. Ọmọ mi ti ṣàlàyé pé èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì la máa fi ka nínú tó lóògùn díẹ̀. So a special announcement from the main body of Ilana and Prof, Homeland and Diaspora. Today, Thursday, 18th November 2021. All protocols observed. Today is one of the saddest days of my life. that I will be standing before the international community to announce the separation of the main body of Ilana, Oduduwa, from its Alano, Professor Banji Akintoye, is unbelievable, but unfortunately true. This is because, at the end of the day, no single individual is greater than its nation. We have been in this struggle to have a nation of our own, along with other nations entrapped in one Nigeria since year 2000. We started as PRONACO, became NNN, that is Movement for No Nigeria, and finally, when our alliance protocols were in place, became NINAS, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance, on December 11, 2018 at Freedom Park, Lagos. We came into contact with Professor Akintoye just before the Freedom Park proclamation, and we felt he would be a worthy leader for us, as he had been a history professor in America for 25 years. Even though he had served as a senator before traveling abroad, we believed he had been purged of all Nigerian political yearnings. He took us to Pa Ayo Adebanjo, who also approved of our blueprint to liberate the trapped nations of one Nigeria. However, at that time, we didn't know that in their SMB forum, that is the South and Middle Belt forum, they had already endorsed Alhaji Atiku for president, believing that he would at least restructure the country. It was Professor Akintoye who saw through Atiku that it will be business as usual, with just cosmetic changes that will not really affect the lives of the average Nigerian. He then got in touch with us again in 2019, and we started working on the NINAS Constitutional Force Majeure blueprint together, even though by that time we had done the 2018 Freedom Park proclamation, the memo to the president, and taking our case to the international community, particularly USA and UN. To his credit, he provided great leadership, for which we will be forever grateful. Somewhere along the line, he went back to his first love, politics, and politics played the one Nigerian way. This started to manifest as a desire to be the father of all Yoruba self-determination groups, which included those hedging their bets, those out to line their pockets, outright politicians out to use Ilana as a political structure, and most dangerous of all, political jobbers out to destroy Ilana at the behest of the Fulani cabal. It was a long and arduous process to gain international recognition. One of the undertakings is not to get involved in Nigerian politics. International partners started asking questions. We spoke to Professor Akintoye to no avail, that all these people were just out to leverage on his goodwill and his desire to see all Yorubas united. We were forced to start the onerous process of disowning all these groups one by one. Global Strategic Alliance, JIT, Yoruba Self-Determination, Voice of Reason, etc. All of them seeking to, at best, subsume Ilana or working for Nigeria. Even IPOP, when they saw what was going on, tried to muscle in on Ilana. During our rallies, both on the homeland and at the United Nations General Assembly. Not unexpectedly, around this time, allegations, accusations, and counter-accusations of monies being paid to Professor Akintoye, either directly or through proxies, started to surface. As loyal lieutenants, we started by defending him. But avalanche of accusations got to a stage that we had to adopt the strategy of least said, soonest mended. We already knew that we were in dire straits, with allegations of financial malfeasance chipping at Professor Akintoye's integrity. Ilana's structure under bombardment. We started warning Prof that we cannot allow him to endanger the struggle for a Yoruba nation. But Professor Akintoye wouldn't listen. He instead started telling the 7 EXCO members who moved with him, including myself, extracted an agreement from him that the 7 would continue to operate as his cabinet till Ilana was firmly rooted. Prof broke the agreement and started to bring in people with no knowledge of or commitments to the struggle. In the midst of all these problems, the subtle queries from our international partners and our UN affiliates continued. The queries were along the lines of, are you sure your leader is not working with the Nigerian politicians? They reminded us that Ilana must be apolitical and eschew violence. All these we reported to Professor Akintoye. So we were already on the brink of the precipice when this straw that broke the camel's back manifested. On the morning of Friday, the 6th of August 2021, I got a call from Dr. Banji Akintoye, the South African coordinator, that Professor Akintoye was about to remove Shola Salako, our diaspora coordinator. I asked why. He claimed he did not know, but that all he knows is that if Prof tries it, he won't be able to contain the backlash, as 80% of the diaspora will stand with Shola Salako. He asked me to do something about it, and I agreed, and said I will call Prof. Before I could call Prof, a call came in from Omoluabi Oladimeji, the German coordinator. He more or less said the same thing as Dr. Banji Akintoye. On asking his advice on the way forward, Omoluabi Oladimeji suggested that we split Shola Salako's portfolio into two, giving Dr. Akintoye the job of coordinating the diaspora, while Shola Salako retains the diplomatic side of the role. I told him to let me think it through and call him back. I thought it through and realized that whatever was at the root of this problem, these two coordinators and maybe a few others had met and decided on a solution that suited them. Now, my main concern was not to derail our struggle for freedom. Meanwhile, Shola Salako's main value to the cause was her ability to deal on our behalf with UNPO, ONIFA, EU, UN, etc. At the same time, you cannot afford a diaspora crisis. So I bought into the idea. I called Prof to give me a few hours to wade into the issue before he makes his announcement. He agreed. I then called Shola and told her everything. She initially said she was leaving, but I made her realize the problem first. To remember her years of hard work and commitment, she agreed to the separation of power. I called Dr. Akintoye and he agreed to become the diaspora administrator. I also called Omoluabi Oladimeji and happy with the solution. I Prof, and he also accepted the separation of powers. We had peace for a few weeks, and the problem reared its head again, culminating in the political situation applied by Professor Akintoye to the English chapter, Akin Wilson and Shola Salako. For the sake of clarity, Shola Salako remains our diaspora lead as international secretary, and those who are for the Yoruba struggle will continue to work with her and her team. Ilana is a self-determination organization, nothing else. It cannot be turned into a political group, as this will set the struggle back at least 20 years. And who knows when next the Yoruba will get another golden opportunity for freedom. Like I stated earlier, we cannot jeopardize the struggle for our freedom. We are midstream, and millions of lives are at stake. The NINAS project affects the Alliance territory. Ilana is a key driver of the NINAS blueprint in Yoruba land. It has also been so documented at the United Nations. NINAS has gone beyond being the project of one or two persons. It is now a movement that has developed a life of its own and will continue no matter who falls by the wayside. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot allow Professor Banji Akintoye to truncate the dreams of millions of people. So as of today, 18th November 2021, Ilana and Oduduwa is stepping aside from Professor Banji Akintoye, freeing him to become the father and supreme commander of the amalgamated self-determination groups. Thank you all for your time and attention. Sincerely, Otumba Shade Olukoya, on behalf of Ilana and Oduduwa, 18th November 2020. 2021, sorry. Taking you back one more year. Okay, so that's it. It's very short and I hope to the point. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Wait,
why is the other microphone? No, there's another one.
Why is it?
good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
feel if you are able to manage a small group like this, what is going to happen to Yoruba nation?
I'm able to manage a small group.
We have crisis.
Which is the Ilana.
What say this Ilana? Okay, let me put this Ilana.
Ilana is not a small group. Ilana itself is a big group. Ilana itself is a big group. And under Ilana, we have 127 million working. So it's not a small group. That's why we are the largest of the self-determination groups. Some of these people that I said that was romancing. Some of them really 6 family members, and they form. So it's not a small group, and we have a large following, and we have made a lot of inroads into this self-determination, not only in Yoruba land, even outside Yoruba land. And that's why I said that millions of lives are at stake. We can't afford it.
Is there no way you can find a way around this?
What do you want? What do you mean by finding a way around this?
Instead of allowing this to Professor Akintoye to go, maybe you want a way around this.
We have different ideology. That's what they are saying now. We want to say it's a good weakness as well. We want Yorubas united, but it's not possible. Yorubas are too enlightened, too educated for all of them to go in one direction. Even when Awolowo, who did a lot of wonders for us in Western Nigeria, was there, we did not all nobody, we didn't all face the same direction. If they had faced the same direction, UPN would have been the only, AG would have been the only party in existence. When you are leading a group that says they are fighting for liberation, you don't go about lobbying with people who are obviously fighting for one Nigeria, to keep Nigeria one. Because one Nigeria, let me explain to you, it's not the same Nigeria that our fathers went to negotiate in Lancaster House. In Lancaster House, they negotiated for Nigeria, a federal country, where each one had its own constitution, its own ambassadors abroad. They had their own regional law and all that. So what you can go to prison for in Yoruba land, you may not go to prison for it in the east or in the middle belt. So everybody was more or less independent, but contributing to keeping it to the center. Gradually after the war, without we being able to notice it, things got to a stage where little by little the military engineered everything and turned us into a unitary state. Now we don't have anything. In fact, that institution does not even owe us anything. As now, if Buhari decides to kill 1,000 people today, he owes us explanation. It's in the constitution. He has immunity. Your governor has immunity. Your president has immunity. You cannot do anything, and they will not resign. No matter how much you scream, you shout, they won't do anything. So that's why it's a bit difficult. It's not the same Nigeria. So anybody that is still rooting for one Nigeria, still rooting to keep Nigeria one, cannot be on the same page with a group that wants total freedom from Nigeria, where we want to control our own affairs, have access to our wealth, and manage it ourselves. These people are spending our money. They are spending money from the ports. They are spending what do you call it, VAT money. They are spending oil and gas money. They spent coal money when it was there. When they didn't want it anymore, they ruined it for them. So that is the problem. We are not on the same page at all. So we cannot work together. And we've explained to Baba several times. Now, these people, he thinks maybe if he pulls them close, maybe they will change. As like they cannot change. They are in this for what they can make out of it. And definitely there is nothing they can make out of one. People who are making money from one Nigeria cannot make money from the Yoruba nation. Because as soon as Yoruba nation is formed, a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are immediately. They themselves know that but once there is Yoruba nation, there are certain things they dare not do. once there is Igbo nation, there are certain things they cannot do in Igbo land and get away with it. There are certain things they cannot do amongst the chief and get away with it. And so that's why they don't want it. So that's why it's difficult to resolve. That's why it's difficult to root for us to have a consideration. As I said, we've been at it for quite some time. We have been at this now for quite some time, trying to get Baba to see. You can see the number of groups we mentioned that we had to start disowning them to get them out of the way. They were leveraging on Baba, trying to get into his heart, trying to make him accept them, and in accepting them, we Baba accept them, we will accept them too. But it's not possible. We are not on the same page.
Any other question? Yes, okay. You do that. Tell us where you're from. And your name and your time.
He didn't tell us which
Good afternoon. My name is Bola Badmus. I'm from Nigerian Tribune newspaper. From the last paragraph, I want to let me read it out. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot allow Prof Banji Akintoye to truncate the dreams of millions of people. So, as of today, 18th November 2021, Ilana and Oduduwa is stepping aside from Professor Banji Akintoye, freeing him to become the father and supreme commander of the amalgamated self-determination. So, I want to believe that what you are trying to say there, that Professor Banji Akintoye has been sacked, being the leader of Ilana and Prof.
Relieved. Be relieved.
Or being relieved of this.
No, not even that he has been relieved. It's like I told you, we are stepping aside from him. He's still there. All Yorubas, once you are Yorubas, you are free to fight for Yoruba freedom, for Yoruba nation, in whatever way you understand. But the way Baba wants to fight is not the way we can, because the people he has pointed around him are pulling him back. He doesn't realize it. Till they all fall into a ditch. That's when Baba is going to realize the way. We cannot afford that time. We cannot afford that happening to us, because like I said, too many lives are dependent on what Ilana is doing. We are in the forefront of this self-determination. We are in the forefront. We are driving NINAS. NINAS is that amalgamation of all the nations in Nigeria who want to be free. Baba is actually the chairman of NINAS. So we don't know how he plans to do it. But NINAS is leading. Ilana is leading. He's the chairman of NINAS. Also the Alan of used to be the Alan of Ilana. So how can you under this and the NINAS group is total for every ethnic nation in Nigeria. So how does that now fit into moving with Yoruba self? Yoruba nation wants to make supreme. They don't even want to have what government we are going to have. Whether we are going to have a nation, whether they are waiting from the actual being for governorship slots. Imagine people are in.
So you telling Baba to start leading the self-determination group and leaving Ilana.
Yes, he should leave us alone.
Now, who is leading Ilana? Who is leading Ilana?
It will come.
Okay, you don't have a leader yet.
Oh, there is a vice chairman.
I'm vice chairman, but I cannot call myself a leader. I can operate in a limited capacity for a limited until the majority of the Ilana people come together to pick
whoever they want.
But the
intact.
We are still working, and because for us at this time, we are so lucky at this time this thing takes place. From now till maybe 2023, what we are mostly doing is a NINAS blueprint. And that one is not really and they are all organizing themselves, organizing their constitution, their charter of relationships, their maps, their culture, their language. Those are all the things you need to take accommodation. Even if you're only 400, if you're not up to a million, to delineate your territory. You have a constitution. Once you have one, about 5 or 6 things, all is well. So that's what we are planning on now. We are at that stage where United, if you can get the constitution down and go and enter transition, then you can go for referendum. Done the United Nations. Not like we can.
I don't know. I heard colleagues of mine also received such a message. A person, Max Adele, said that those of you who wanted to address a press conference this time around in Kenya, and that you have been bought over the government. Is
what you expect him to say. He's fighting back now. People fight back. When they see that there's a problem, do we look like people who are big? Do I look like I have dollars and naira in my hand? And everybody that knows me, ask about me. And his eyes. I don't even do everything they are doing, it does not make me happy. So we are at cross purposes. From the vice president. Yeah. Who is like a junior brother to me. We are all at cross purposes. All of them. All the purposes. Yes, we are 60s and 70s. He was calling that we are 60s and 70s. Don't tell me, they even to me to tell me for what. Only for them to not take me for a whole Yoruba nation. I knew how this country was when I was growing up in this country before I went to England. So I think I went to England at age 7 or 8. And I knew what was on ground. And when I came back, I still met a good English. Till I left university in 1994. So we can just even that time was already when Governor Rotimi wanted to reduce our what do you call those things we used to eat in the university, our feeding allowance. He actually called a meeting for us. He asked them to send him students representative so that he could explain to us. Tell me which governor will explain to you now. If they don't even pay your scholarship, your scholarship as to them, they don't even bother to explain to you. That man called us to a meeting and explained why that this thing had to be done. And we were now the ones who took his message to the University of Ibadan and other universities to go and explain to them. This is what happened. That's the kind of country I grew up in. Not this one where people do what they do. You don't even see them. You don't even see them.
Okay. Any other question?
Please ask your questions now, because as you can see, that I have started to fight back. So if there's anything you want to fight between me and what's in between us here and what is looking up, we are here to answer you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ma, from what you read from this paper now, what I understand from it is that Baba and Ilana, they are no longer together because the vision does not align anymore. Then number two, what Ilana stands for is that they want to liberate from one Nigeria, while Baba is trying to bring Nigeria together. So you cannot. That is.
Can't work together.
Right. Thank you very much.
I think because you are a twin, you have double intelligence.
Thank you, ma. And so you also mentioned some financial aspects where some people are taking money on behalf of Baba directly or indirectly. So, and it is affecting the name of the Ilana. Thank you.
As you can say, I have no proof, but there are allegations. And when allegations start to fly around like that, it becomes a problem. And it has now affecting us in the sense that when we now need help, you have heard that Ilana is taking money, Ilana and their principal is taking money. If we ask you to give us 10 million, now will you give us? You won't give us, and say they just go and spend your money. Of course. And then it ruins our integrity. But we have no proof. Because people say, but we have asked Baba has not responded. Yes,
I want a clarification. This
Ilana.
Yeah, please. I want a clarification. I want a clarification on this issue. The Ilana Omoluabi. Is this celebrated? Oh, Ilana Omoluabi. Is it a different from Ilana's? Yes. What is the difference?
The difference is that Ilana is the difference is that Ilana is a Yoruba group. It's a Yoruba self-determination group. Only Yorubas belong to it. Ninas is a conglomeration of Yorubas, Igbos, Midwest, Delta, Chief, Benue, Araba, all the states, all the places they call themselves Lower Niger territory now. That is including Akwa Ibom, it is what is what we call Ninas, Ijo, Ogoni. We decided to work together because you see, when you have a country where the constitution is so total, it gives the government full powers over you. If you, as Yorubas, decide you are going out, they will criminalize you. They will say you are a criminal, they call you secessionist, separatist. They won't call it self-determination, which is actually a legal right that the United Nations gave to all nations. This one that has been kicked, that killed people yesterday, was 2 days ago in Cameroon, Ambazonia, what do they call it? They were also part of this self-determination group, but they kicked them out because they got involved in violence. That's why we said we cannot do violence and we cannot do politically. And in this country, there's no way you can do politically without entering violence. You can see that all our governors, all our senators, all of them, they all have enforcement thugs. They call it enforcers now, but they are actually they are no better than thugs, and that leads to violence, which we are not supposed to do. So they've been kicked out of the self-determination cover now, and Amazonia. So this is how we operate, and that is the great issue. You understand? All of us together, we now decided that instead of one person doing it alone, let's also get together. It took us a long time to get everybody together. It took us a very long time. We had to go around, talk to them. You know, there were suspicions. Igbos will say, Yoruba, and at the last minute they will withdraw. Yoruba said the same thing about Igbos. At the last minute they are going to join Abuja and fight you. All the smaller groups amongst they said Igbos have been oppressing them for a long time. You know, Igbos are the largest in the East. So they said they've been oppressing them for quite some time. So to be able to convince them that it is not true, that all these things were the lies of the federal government, divide and rule. They are creating one state. They will take half of this state, join it to one place. They have divided you already. Like in Kwara, there's a whole local government in Kwara. They call it Ekiti local government. It should be part of Ekiti state. But Ekiti needed, Kwara needed the land, so they took it. Those people now, if you tell them they are not Kwara, then they should go back to Ekiti and maybe looking for trouble. You know, just like Lagos now. Lagos has nothing. Ekpe, Agbowa, Ikorodu, they all belong to Old West. You know, they are Ijebus. Even Badagry is Ogun State. But they took all of it from there and made them into Lagos. Now they feel proud that they are Lagos. Whereas they were all part of Southwest before. So that's what they did. And that's why we had to all come together under name, as we gave ourselves that name. That in 2018, you can imagine something that started in the year 2000. It took us 18 years to get to the point where we all agreed to work together. So that, because now, who will they fight? Is it the whole bulk of the Middle Belt, the East and the Southwest? They will start firing, and they can't. We've made that point. The United Nations knows we are in this problem. answer your question.
Any other question? Yeah. Okay, you have any question? You're okay.
Where are you from? Tribune. Okay, there are two of you from Tribune. Okay. Eh?
Camera.
Your cameraman.
But you didn't camera anything. Yes.
Yes, indeed. That's why you can't read the camera that time. So if nobody else has any questions, because Baba has answered before we even did the press conference. So if you really have anything, don't feel I'm ready to answer any question, because we didn't tell any lies against him.
If I might read a question from comments going on the screen here, there's a lot of allegation that one, they don't know you, and secondly, you are working for the government.
I don't know, I accept that they may not know me.
Is it in lower thing now? Huh?
I accept that they may not know me. Not everybody knows me. Who asked the question?
Oh, I don't know. It's from the crowd.
It's possible they may not know me. Not everybody can know me. But I am not working for the government. As I've said, I'm not friends with the government at all.
Let him go. Let him go. Or go to the toilet.
You have people.
Don't enter toilet.
I don't know why they would assume. I don't know why people assume government pays you all the time. Maybe it's what they are doing. Maybe government has paid them, so they assume government is paying us too. Government has not paid me, and as I said, from Oshibanjo down, there's none of them that I'm friends with. So no, none of them.
They are asking if Baba is still in Ninas.
Well, yes, he's still in Ninas. Until he decides he's not following our blueprint anymore.
Okay. All right. Basically, most of the questions here are majorly emotions.
Emotions.
Yeah.
And give us an example.
There's a lot here. Okay, some have accused this as a betrayal. Some have said it's a government-sponsored movement, and a lot have said this is a fake, that is not validated, that this is not a valid set of people. And then someone here says that Baba Akintoye brought you guys into the struggle, and now you want to edge him out. I would really like you to address that.
He brought us into the struggle.
Yes.
That's not true.
Yeah, repeat what you said.
I told you that we've been at this thing since year 2000. I met Prof year 2018. I didn't even know the man existed from Adam. You know, it was one of my older colleagues from Shagamu, Olorogun at Prof Banji, who took me there. There was a meeting in his house. Just said, Otuba, let's go. They said there's a meeting in this person's house. Let's see what they are going there to say. I said, Baba, you started again. Yeah, I'm not going anyway. He said, let us go. And he went. And something just told me from my gut that this man can help us. So I called him. I said I wanted to see him. And then he said that I should come. You know, he has a nice attitude, especially when you are Yoruba. He wants all Yorubas together under his roof if it is possible. So I went to see him. And I now told him that we have a project. We have this project we want to do. We're trying to do, and we need a leader, somebody to be the face of the struggle. And that I have a colleague that we've been at it together, and that his name is Tony Nanti. I said, you know, I said about Tony Nanti. I said to him, I will bring him, we will come together. That was how we went to see Baba and introduced him. And I can tell you, the first time, he was the one who told us about them to help us as of that time, because they had already endorsed Atiku. To now go back and tell Atiku that it cannot be election, how do they do? So I said thank you, sir. And we went away and we continued our work. He called me back himself in 2019. By that time, he had seen through Atiku. He knew Atiku could not deliver. That even the only promise going to come, that he cannot do anything. If Fulani will always be like it is the agenda that will always come first. So he called me back himself. I said, share it, you man. He calls me my mama, share it. I'm only want me to beg. I will come. So to marry with the Lord, and as I said, he started again. So how can somebody that I started working with in 2019, 2018 be the one that got me to the next one.
The existing 2,000.
Okay, thanks for that answer, man. There's another one here that I think needs clarity. How has this happening now? How will it help the agitation? How will it help the movement, the Yoruba nation?
It will help the Yoruba nation because all the questions, all doubts people had about the integrity of the members will be doused. You know, most of them feel that we are collecting money. Some people are making money, but you suppose that most of them are not Ilana. They may do it in the name of Ilana, but when they tell me, oh, so lawyer did this, or so this one did that, I check, they are not Ilana members, but they are Yorubas. You understand? They are Yorubas. Everybody is trying to line their pockets, make what they can, and Baba is encouraging them. There was a time he told everybody to be their account opened by Global Directorate. So we all kicked against it. That's why. So those are the things that will now stop with what we have done now. It's like a restructuring Ilana, refocusing it. It's a self-determination group, nothing more. If you want to help, you are welcome. If you don't want to help, it will not stop the birth of the Yoruba nation. You know, how many of us gave away all money when they were fighting in Lancaster House? But the day he announced the birth of Nigeria, who went out to say, I'm not part of Nigeria, I don't want Nigeria? Everybody celebrated. And by God's grace, that's how everybody is going to celebrate the birth of the Yoruba nation and other nations in Nigeria. No matter, we will wait for the person that says he's not part of it. We will ask him to go and do video. And change.
Of course.
Okay, so I guess in the absence of any more questions, that's it. You have one. Okay.
My name is Sheko from Malari.
Okay.
Sorry, take that again.
Good afternoon. My name is Sheko from Malari. Though I've been around for like almost like 30 minutes ago. Been waiting outside, trying to get in touch. Ní kékeré ní kúkúrú ṣe lè bá wa ṣàlàyé gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ sọ ní Yorùbá. Kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bá wa summarize kékeré.
I've already apologized before you came here.
Okay.
That's why you insisted you wanted that.
Even if just 2 minutes.
Because you people just even the message this percentage on the back, I had to read it about 4 times. You kept me. I should.
Quick summary.
Okay.
Yoruba.
So he's going to give us only.
Yes, sir.
Let him. Come on.
Let me go through. Then I'll
okay. Just give him 5 minutes to read. You know, it's better because I don't want to be fetching me. Take him as a Yoruba. If him pass on my to mix it one English. Ṣé o kí n gbà tí wà yẹn owó gidi la fi lọ school lọ́kọ̀ English? Ìwọ tó bá nílé ìgbà yẹn wọ́n máa gbé mi pé o ṣe ń sọ Yorùbá. I told you, say it in English. So tí wàá mọ̀ wá lára. Not to worry. Àti ìjàyè àti ìṣe lọ. We'll do a good job because I don't even know where to start from. And then, you know, sometimes Yoruba language is so conk.
Someone says, is it wrong if Baba Akintoye trying to lobby other leaders who are for restructuring?
To do what? To come in for liberation? You can't lobby them. Who are which leaders are you going to restructure? Are you going to lobby? Take the point. Take the the last one. I even forgot to put his name here. Who is from the nation here? You are. Tinubu, you know, his swagger is all about him. When he came back, you know, we felt he would rest, and if he's going to go for politics, he will come to the Yorubas. You know, always be true. She one day. Wọ́n ti pátán ní Katsina
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Ọlọ́run mọ̀ nǹkan tó fẹ́ sí lára. Ìlú mẹ́rin ló. I'm saying it openly. If it's not true, let him deny it. Because we were monitoring him. Pé bàbá yìí ṣé kìí ṣe kàn ti fẹ́ gáàsì sí lára báyìí. Tábà tí ẹ máa pa Tinubu kọjá apá fúnra ra wa náà. Èwo ni tiwọn láti bá wa pa. Because he is a Yoruba man at the end of the day. And like Baba himself said, Baba Akintoye, only I go back to the Yoruba, the beating of because for 8 years he fought Obasanjo to stand still, Lori or Lagos State. So I'm told you can never worry to face Yoruba. He was a more successful politician than to move Losi Abuja. Don't know he did better in Lagos. And me personally, you work for him. Tell him that the lady who spoke to him when Kabiyesi turned 50 years on the throne in Kabiyesi's palace in Ijebu, because I live in Ijebu, most of them, sir, about 1 month, according to his official age, he's 1 week, he's March 29, I'm April 5. When he sir, he became Balwe. We are your first line of contact. Anything you want, start with us. Convince us. We will stand with. The same thing. Opportunity being the house was left open. Anybody could come in at that time. Then I was in Atayeshi Alokimo. By no shade APC. When he said this mega party is a fair shade. It means a northern president. Again. Only Kama Sobe. Bon, machine here. It will work. When you kill work, it is tele. MKO at my work if you don't shit MKO at Tiki. When you number 1, where is the Shaja Habiola did it? Number 2, when you Abiola and give you the Muslim ticket. Nobody's going to accept a Muslim ticket from anybody in Nigeria. Distrust it more. I trust that our mom. It's a good come on, she there. I don't know about what she said. At the end of the day, we say, oh no, we gbogbo àwọn Igbo nǹkan gbogbo ló ń bú wa ń ṣe báwa Yorùbá gbé Buhari wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀ káwọn kọ àwa Yorùbá ni àwa non blame so wọn ní whatever tójú wa bá rí ń bẹ kàfàrà kò lè wọlé káńtì Sherry no Sherry by the formation of how they vote in Nigeria if Yoruba win South what president could the presidency you can't win by just votes from the north and the east alone. East to the vote Buhari láyé ọtí fèpè lera wọn lórí ń bẹ ṣe lẹ́rìí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní the island it doesn't matter she knows the truth now but they all know the truth no they said they swear never again ẹni tó bá vote in north and is looking for that's why they don't like Soludo kì í ṣe kọ́ love Soludo but it's Abuja they would rather Soludo wọlé wọ́n ṣe like ju kí ló orúkọ ẹ̀. And then our government talks. They want to put thugs in government houses. You know, everybody is in make up mind. Because they vote one on because they will not have votes because of the president. So if we had stopped, if Tinubu had behaved as she advising, we would have been good. Listen, no, I don't the president of Nigeria. If he starts from Yoruba land, my change the mind. Of course. But he won't. He's so full of one Nigeria nothing about him. You know, that's their problem. So that's the thing. If we are not I'm not saying that anything is wrong, but Sherry, you have to stand with your people. Stand with your people. But number 1, Fulanis will not trust you. Whatever betray, they will not trust you. They will believe you will betray them to one day. So you gain nothing at the end of the day. Standing with enough against your own people. So that's that. I don't know if I make up on the question. Your question today.
That's a down question from the beginning. Okay, so.
Yes.
Okay, you can tell us a question.
Question Yakwambi Bayo.
You are doing it for me. I will thank you later.
Yes, ma'am. Looking at the last paragraph, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot allow Professor Banji to truncate the dreams of millions of people. So as today, 18 November 2021, Ilana and Prof is stepping aside from Professor Banji Akintoye. Ma, pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó wà níbí báyìí, ti ta ni olórí tuntun fún ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ
You didn't compare it.
Well, the retired there, but at least there's a vice chairman.
Okay.
She's the vice chairman. Meanwhile, she runs that place. That's the
Then, ma, ìbéèrè mi kejì. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlànà tuntun tí ẹgbẹ́ ìṣègbè kalẹ̀. Ìjẹ́ ẹ ń wo ẹnìkan gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tí a fẹ́ gbárùkù tì fún election tó bọ̀.
You come back here again.
No.
Okay, this is what I'm asking about.
This is not political. It's not a political something.
Okay.
Constitution.
Okay,
Bringing down the constitution.
Okay.
And we are going into transition age. South Africa for like 3 years. That's the kind of thing we are going to have. We are going to bring down the constitution, but all political actors will stay in place because anarchy now to our one day, free of charge.
Bí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re ṣe ń jà fún píkà tuntun ní ẹgbẹ́ ìlànà ojú aṣọ pé
But if we are very not this way for she to more say. You are not following news.
No, sir, we are together last week.
So
and they are saying we still.
No, Baba has released many messages.
No, we are together last week. They are still saying restructuring.
So they're going up and down. Yeah, I think I go
last week.
That means they're going up and down. Up and down. Take.
I'm sorry for this.
Thank you very much. My name is Prince Adi Johnson. One of the campaigners for Yoruba Nation. I'm a member of Yoruba Nation now, and I'm Yoruba Nation Christian Association. I'm sorry for the cause. Some of the members were calling me. Now, actually, as one of the campaigners for Yoruba Nation, I will confess that I'm not happy what I'm hearing today. And the reason is that we in Yoruba Nation struggle are following looking at Ilana as the umbrella body for all other Yoruba Nation associations, organizations. Yes, that's it. And we'll be looking at Baba as the father of everybody. Actually, I came to know Ilana through Baba because I used to watch him on YouTube and some of the social media. You have been seeing me too. Every time you're having meetings, I've been seeing you. And all of us have been giving that respect everywhere. Even when you talk about the media, whether the print media or electronic media or TV, whatever, everybody talk about Baba. And when you talk about Baba, it's like Baba is synonymous with Ilana. That's the way we know it. And I've thought maybe Baba was even the one who started Ilana. I also like was in one group before Yoruba World Congress something. So I've been following all these things for long. So hearing this today, actually I'm not too happy what I'm hearing because we all of us that we have been on the field. I would say that we are on the field. When it comes to Yoruba nationalization, we're on the field. We move around and talk to people. And what some of them are asking us is that when you people are even together like this, there's no form of unity. Yoruba don't come together. They are not in agreement. By the time you don't have Yoruba nation, somebody asked that question. What's going to happen? I think that's what brought somebody asking that question. So I would have loved if it's possible to be a total reconciliation. Is that okay? I don't know if you've been going through all this for now. I would have loved that situation because we see Baba as a figurehead to all Yoruba nation campaigners. I don't want to call the word agitator because I had one English language recently and say it's not good for call agitators, but rather campaigners. So I would rather say campaigners. Because with what this press conference today, I won't lie to you, it's going to cause a lot of challenges, a lot of people. And after today's press conference, I'm going to be saying a lot of comments all over the places. I'm a social media person. I run the KSN media. You're going to see a lot of comments will be commenting on the different media today. Called this able to do the constellation because I won't lie to you. We love Baba. We know there's principle in everything, but we love him. We appreciate him. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope we respond to that. I think let this one. Well, we thank God for how far this vision has gone. And I want you to follow up bear in mind that in life, nobody is indispensable. Start with that premise. Now, if you don't hold that premise, you will lose focus. And a lot of it can be wiped out. Now, mind you, the struggle we are struggling for now is how this Fulani will not kill all of us and take our land. Now, that's the second premise to look at. Now, there may be a lot of people want to come together. Okay, how do we achieve this goal? Let's run, let's do it, let's die. A lot of people are coming with different vision and different ideas. And some of them even have something they have in their mind, which you don't know. It is as you walk along, you begin to discover, that's so correct. That is where we are now. Unless one wants to go and die, then that reconciliation will work. So if you want to reconcile and go and die, let's choose. Do we choose that? No. I have to front that. Do you want us to reconcile and go and die?
No, so that's not the...
Or leave Baba alone and be delivered to our promised land?
I want to focus.
So do go and die, or we go to the promised land?
We go to get the promised land.
Okay, then leave Baba alone. Thank you. Very God bless you.
Leave Baba alone.
Do we have more questions? Okay.
Any other questions?
Any more questions?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the question. He's waiting.
And some questions on the platform. You have some questions.
Well, I've not seen any.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's not like a question. What I want to say is that me too, I'm a concerned. Don't worry. I'm a very concerned person too with all these things that is going on in our nation.
Okay, that's fine. But it's covering all us.
After all these things, I feel people studied what happened in 1966 because me, I'm a fan of reading Star Wars roll up.
Just voice. It's just voice. People can't hear. They're saying they cannot hear your question. Okay.
So this is a off camera.
All right.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say that I've been reading what happened before 1966 and what happened 1966 and before. I've been reading a lot of mistakes and what happened and all those. Now, with what is happening in Nigeria, we are going back I say we are going back 50-something years back again to what we did not solve then. That is what is happening. Then it was the North that started it like this, and the Yorubas were confused. They wanted to stay neutral to maybe at a particular time. Then the Igbos relied on the Yorubas that if the Yorubas stay neutral, the Hausa will not be able to penetrate them. But when the Yorubas now give up the base, the Igbos were ready to their land. Then now what I'm going to say is that now if what is happening in Nigeria now, it is happening and happening, and it is coming down gradually. It is coming down. Now, what I want to say that in all these meetings, have you people from the what happened in 1966 and all that led us to where we are today, have you been able to resolve all these things and map out everywhere so that what happened in 1966 will not happen again? So that one side will not, after everything, one side will not betray on another side, will not open way for. Because the struggle there, the Hausa used the Yoruba and the Hausa benefited.
Let me answer your question. See, it's very simple. What you are talking about one Nigeria. We're not talking about one Nigeria.
No, I'm not talking about one Nigeria.
Okay, so
what I'm saying is that then what the struggle now is like what the same struggle then. You know, then they call the Yoruba to tell that if people go and we go, that the Hausa will be powerless. Now it's the same thing like this.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
So if at the end of the day, if the guy is cast, and they want some side now pull out, they can now leave some side.
Okay, so let me undo that. Now, let me just say this: in any movement, you always have people who are moles, who have their own agenda, who also can be wooed by enemies. That is why Tinubu is with the North. That's part of it. So as a result of that, you can't rule that out. It is for us to be those of us who want to be free. We may not be big numbers. In many establishments, you find out only 4, 5, 6 people are the ones that will give deliverance. Look at South Africa, Mandela. So if you focus, you know what you're doing. You just need a few people to work with you. Leave others alone. Continue to move on. If they cut your leg, mend it and move on. If they slap you, whatever you can do, don't lose your focus. That is where we are, and that's what we're doing. Is that answer your question? Yes.
And can I just add a little bit? You know, in 1966, a lot of us were still ignorant. We didn't know their plan. We didn't see the Fulani. We knew Hausa Fulani. We didn't know there was Hausa. We didn't know there was Fulani. Right. Now we know the difference. We even know the difference that some are headsmen. That is, they came from outside. We now know Iswa. A lot of people didn't know them. They know now. So people's reactions are not going to be like that time. You know, that time the chief, it's not only the Yorubas that helped them, the chief helped them along when they were coming running from town. But it was out of ignorance. Now that ignorance is everybody has suffered. And I don't think there's any nation in Nigeria now, including the Hausas, who have not suffered. In fact, they were the first victims. Of course. They killed all the others. They took their land, changed their religion. So you cannot, I don't think anybody never betray anybody. No more ignorance. I don't think anybody will. It was not ignorance and that betrayal.
Yes, go on. Yes, sir.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlànà tuntun tí ẹgbẹ́ ṣe, ṣé kò lè fa kí ẹgbẹ́ pín sí méjì?
Ṣé ètò ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀? It's okay. We don't need a crowd to achieve what we want. Planity, Ninasri, to liberate this country does not need a huge crowd. All we need is for people to know what is happening. When you say something, the main problem we have in this country, joint problem, everybody is Fulani. And the main problem is that constitution. Everybody knows. In fact, even before the Fulanis, the constitution is the main problem, followed by our way on low against one. So once everybody knows that that is the problem, there is no self-determination all so they don't want me. No, there's self-determination, actually restructuring, and the Akuku draw only one Nigeria. So everybody don't know.
Tó parí ni pé nípa ètò tuntun tí ẹgbẹ́ ti gbé báyìí kí lẹ́rù ní ìmọ̀ràn tèmi ò gba ẹgbẹ́ pé kí ìpolongo jáde kí
ìpolongo náà lórí
kó jáde kí àwọn èèyàn lè mọ̀ pé nǹkan tí ẹgbẹ́ ṣe báyìí ni àwọn adarí wa tuntun yìí so kò jù báyìí lọ.
Shaking it to look at I gba position. We are movement for to save Yoruba nation. We got our after. And we don't need a leader. Nígbà tẹ́yìn yẹn tẹ̀yìn ọmọdé tẹ̀ ṣe ń sáàtì ṣọ́ wá leader NTCC ṣọ́ọ̀rì. Àbúrò ọ̀ṣà àwa títí wọ́n tún pè ẹsẹ̀ leader yìí wá káwọn báwọn negotiate àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ láwọn ò ní leader.
Wọ́n ní àṣìbù tó bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣìbù.
Mo ṣe ń bèrè, how would you use our local and Zik as an example? When they were going to Lancaster House, they know my normal they didn't know. They came back after several years. Self-independence. From self-independence, national independence. Japan tell me, everybody in Japan young 8 young boys in Japan. Lọ́ní yàtọ̀ àwọn jẹ lọ́wọ́ China yìí pọ̀ jù. They were under China before. Wọ́n ní láíláí àwọn máa kúrò yẹn. And they left. See Japan today now. So
ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ní dé nìyẹn jẹ́ kẹ́ni dé lẹ́yìn kápípà yìí. Kọ́lọ́ kápípà títẹ̀ kó lè dé.
You are the youth of tomorrow.
Ẹ̀yin leader
ẹ̀yin làwọn ń jà fún yín ni. Àwọn ń jà fún yín ni.
You are ẹ̀yin lọ́lá wa. You will inherit this land lágbọ́rọ̀ Ọlọ́run. And after your own children will inherit it. No, wonders for one share abroad here. How about anyone separate his Chinese twins? Why can't they come out here and do it? When must they go and do it? All these wonders they are performing in other people's countries. Why can't they come to Nigeria and do it? And give us that joy, give us that pride. Come on, they don't see them as number one citizens. They are still second or third class citizens. In England. I grew up amongst them. Let me give you one example of what I saw. But I was to school. I said, "Oh, you can't go on. On paper for my love for a night with Princess Anne at one of these beautiful hotels náà. So ẹ̀rọ kò bí wọ́n máa hand pick wọ́n set exam fún wa ní wey dey pass. Ṣé ẹ̀ tó mo dé nu ọ̀nà hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì ẹ̀ lálẹ́jọ́ jẹ́ kí n wọlé. Kí ló dé? Wọ́n ní mi ìwọlé. Coloured náà tẹ̀ ní black. Wọ́n ní coloured are not allowed there. Ṣé lọ́ọ́ fi mí sínú black cap mo padà sílé. Alẹ́ ẹjọ́ yẹn ni mo mọ̀ pé princess mi náà pọ̀ mọ́ ba ni mí. Ìgbà tí mo délé tí mo ké ni màá lọ sọ fún mọ́mí mi má dá wọn lóhùn. Orí wọn ni ò pé wọn mọ̀ pọ̀ mọ́ ba ni ìwọ náà ní orí oyè náà bí ẹ sí. That was the day I knew I was a princess myself. And he no, that's the kind of things Oyinbos will do to you anytime. So that is why you need your own country. Káwọn ọmọ wa náà kọ́ mọ̀ kán ṣe gbogbo àrà kan bá fẹ́ dá kán máa dá as Nigerians. Káwọn náà máa wá kán wá máa wo the wonders of the so-called black man of Yoruba land. So that's why.
Any other question as a round up? Any other question?
Ó yá ó máa sọ Yorùbá kan tó wà nínú ẹ̀ ó lóun máa translate fún wa. Lẹ́tì àná wọ̀ ló máa ṣe fún wa ní. Wọ́n lọ kọ́ pé ó máa lọ kọ́ lọ́fíìsì.
That's your coordination.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not from well, one house.
Nǹkan tí a gbọ́ lé ní ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó dùnyàn lọ́kàn. So mo rò pé now state tèmi wà how much of àwọn èèyàn tó wà ń ta tó ti believe pé okay this is our father he's taking us to our promised land. But all of a sudden a gbọ́ pé nǹkan bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn state coordinator wà ní Èkó ṣe sọ. As a young can coordinator we need to know tani àwọn ẹni tí bàbá tẹ̀lé tó jẹ́ bí a group tí wọ́n affect movement for us to be more careful for the future population.
Oh yes. Stop. What no be?
Because
Mama
we need to be more careful because now nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí nsìn ó máa wá jọyàn kan lọ́kàn mò ń wọ comment tó máa make bẹ́ẹ̀ very and ọ̀hún mi ó máa fún ọ̀tá lọ́rọ̀ sọ ni ọ̀tọ́ ní sọ pé àyòbó lè lọ ẹnu ò lè kó àdúrà wọn máa sọ pé àkọ́tọ̀ wọn ti ṣe but now let us know what was the cause so that we can use it to educate the people outside. Ìkíni nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀.
Wọ́n tó bá lísì sí ohun tí màmá kà wà á rí pé wọ́n advise àwọn groups wọ́n cause problem and ẹ̀mí fẹ́ emphasize pé I want to emphasize many times when I have meeting with Mama he's always been complaining about this group and Baba obnobbing with them and Mama ete Ọlọ́run bá yanjú ẹ̀ several times in fact I even took over myself get Baba I tried several times I didn't get him ẹ̀yin tó lọ bá àbá sọ̀rọ̀ ìjọ ẹ̀ mọ́ gbàdúrà mo complain fún ẹnìkan plus mọ́ àbá tó jẹ́ media person Michael West ó ní kí n kí àbá náà kéde ẹ̀bí ọ́ ìmílẹ̀ èkó bàtà máa fọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀mílẹ̀ ó pe bàbá ó bá wà lọ bí bàbá sọ pé kò àwọn tó ń hàn náà pé kò sí tó rà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ is okay ìmílẹ̀ mọ̀ pé danger àti àwọn pè lọ́ ń bá àwọn pè gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ṣe in fact some of them nígbà tó wà ní Young Yorùbá World Congress àwọn tó dí pẹ̀lú bàbá tó really dí pẹ̀lú bàbá seriously ó wà náà àwọn tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí Ọ̀túnba is one of those that saved him nígbà tó gan kàkiri ẹ̀wá gbọ́n sọ pé àwọn méje kan wọ́n fi bàbá lẹ̀ nígbà tó dí pẹ̀lú bàbá no I don't think you follow this thing wọ́n láwọn méje kan wà tó tẹ̀lé bàbá pé bàbá ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ bàbá ẹ fi wọ́n lẹ̀ wọ́n yìí dúró pẹ̀lú bàbá nígbà yẹn now ọwọ́ fún mi ìlànà after ìgbà tó gbé ìlànà make progress these same people tí wọ́n dì pẹ̀lú bàbá ọwọ́ ń bá bàbá ọya ẹ̀ka ṣe G8 a máa control ọ̀hún yẹn ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ní nẹ́sà I don't know gbogbo ṣé ọ̀rọ̀ yóò sí ilé tíṣà wọ́n ti yọ gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì nẹ́sà àwọn wà níbi ìṣẹ́ these are the people tó ń bá bàbá ṣe o mo rò pé ṣe gbọ́ are you following this thing because if you get the information you will just be baby the way you are baby ṣé à ń lọ síwájú ni àbá ń lọ sẹ́yìn answer yourself answer ṣé à ń lọ síwájú àbá ń lọ sẹ́yìn
Prof.
Hey, go younger. Where do you register? Where do you register?
Register as what?
I see. Register under Ilana. Under Ilana register.
Everything's on there.
GA kó àwọn jọ ní àwọn la máa jó lórí Ìlànà.
Is it possible?
Are you hearing anywhere? Pé Ìlànà ẹ̀yà èèyàn bíi méjì kan wá jọ GA. Don't want to represent Ìlànà under GA.
So GA will not be over.
Which is not possible.
Ó lè kó òrìṣẹ́ ilé tí kò sí ilé tó dà kó tù wọ́n ilé tí. Ó tù wọ́n ilé tí.
Wọ́n ṣe fọ́ọ̀mù GA tiẹ̀ ní o.
Ó ṣe yé wọn.
Wọ́n ṣe fọ́ọ̀mù GA tiẹ̀ ní o.
So these are issues that Mama has been going through. Mama ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan take it. Ẹ má sì ṣe kiri pé bàbá ẹ fi bàbá ẹ. So many times Mama tún ní bàbá tún ti dé o. Wọ́n ní káwá lọ ṣe báyìí ká ṣe báyìí. Pé nísìnyí mo tẹ Mama sọ pé mi tẹ sọ gbogbo dákẹ́ ni. Wọ́n ti pè àwọn ìpè yẹn kọ́ wá ṣe meeting pẹ̀lú wọn. Wọ́n ṣe meeting on Zoom. Mama ní òǹkọ̀ ya dákẹ́ ni. Nígbà tó yẹ pé òun ti wọ́n àbàtì ọ̀bà òdàgbọ̀ òǹkọ̀ dákẹ́. Pé mi tó Mama ní ti decide pé wẹ́ tí wọ́n bá decide láti bá wọn lọ ìgbà yẹn ni máa yọ carpet. Pé kàṣà yìí máa wò ná. Unfortunately they try. Wọ́n ní meeting kan ní bàbá kọ́ àjọ lórí àwọn kọ́ announce kọ́ òun ní chief commander or whatever. So ìyẹn ni Mama dúró dé pé ok tí bàbá ti announce pé òun ti jó lórí wọn. Then wọ́n ní pé àyàgbára náà wá jẹ́jẹ́ kó bá wọn lọ. But he played a smart game. See, there are a lot of details you would do because I think he played smart. He just showed up at that meeting. Come in, come back meeting, but go say small thing. Go there. Yeah, come back. Oh, what do you bàbá dẹ̀ já wálẹ̀. Bàbá so gbogbo anything happen. It all happen. The one that break the camel's back. Only it happen the wiki. In fact, normally today, I will not have entertained this kind of meetings because it is important. Baba kọ letter wọ́n dẹ̀ sack àwọn méjì tó wà important globally for Ìlànà. Ṣọlá sir, I'm sure you know Ṣọlá Sàkọ. Oh, okay, you right. Láyé àfẹ́ Ṣọlá Sàkọ kọ. Baba sack àwọn méjì wọn àti another important person. Akiwo tó wà ní abroad tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun fún Ìlànà. So what else do you want us to do at that point? Kàtó bàálẹ̀ kó máa continue àbí?
And younger women inaugurated by Ilana.
Okay, so like, do you continue Baba in that all this time? Just do we continue Baba or we leave? We should continue. No, okay. So that is the point.
I have a question here, and I think it's important to take it. Okay. Who is Ṣọlá Sàlàkọ, and how has she been beneficial to the struggle?
Ṣọlá Sàlàkọ is a Yoruba girl, half Èkó, half Ẹ̀gbá, I think, who was sent to England at a very early age, which is part of, I think, the problem to ní pẹ̀lú àwọn bíi bàbá pé ó ń ṣe bí òyìnbó, ara complaints bàbá ní pé kò ṣe bí ọmọ Yorùbá, kò àgbàlagbà bá sọ̀rọ̀ kò mọ kí ṣe ọmọ òyìnbó ṣe ṣe when they talk to you as if you are. So he had basics anyway, but there's nothing we can do about it. Then she nígbà tí ọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tó máa join ní kini struggle, she joined as far back as Unicom. Unicom was before 2018. So àdìjọ wá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àdìjọ ṣe winners ni, you know. And so why she is now important to us is that in terms of moving with people, UNPO tagba yẹn, how we can now fly flat, everybody sọ táwọn IPOB náà lọ ṣe tiwọn àti Biafra òun ló ṣe. She will go about doing all these things quietly, without them, and using her money as well. She will do all the things. Conifa is more the exact thing, but it's like for Africans, football is a football club. Okay. Because ball, and it's open only to Yorubas. You saw it. But what cancel into the COVID. So you saw nǹkan tó ń ṣe yẹn pé káwọn wá tiẹ̀ máa jáde kọ́ máa lọ gbá bọ́ọ̀lù kọ́ máa ti rí wọn as people from Yorùbá nation wọ́n máa gbá bọ́ọ̀lù yẹn as Yorùbá nation. Èèyàn mélòó inú gbogbo àwọn tí even àwọn office holders wa tó ń gbowó wa lọ́ ń ṣe irú ẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ gan tó ń struggle tó ń join kiri èyí tó ọ̀bá bá sùn nù wọn, I'm sorry because àwọn olókùn kiri ẹ̀wọ̀n ní jẹ́ kán lọ. notice ìgbà kan pé for some time àwọn handicap ló win ní medal wálé because handicap ò accuse wọn súnmọ́ wọn so the best of the handicap ló lọ. But the normal women and men, one way or the other before. So you cannot get your best with that kind of nonsense. But you see, this conifer, you just allow them to play. Or abroad, not even pick the best. Abroad, not even want them to play. United Nations affiliates wa. En fait, on sort EU, UK, there, no, so I want to say, and very few people only survive. Láti máa ṣe nítorí they will ask you questions. Wọ́n fẹ́ tún fún ẹ jáde. O fẹ́ ṣí ìgbà tó fẹ́ ṣí bank account. In fact, wọ́n ò gbà kó ṣí lórúkọ ìlànà. She had to open it with her details so that òyìnbó á sẹ́ pé àwọn àmì táwọn máa mú tí nǹkan kan bá go wrong. The same thing bá tó máa ṣí website. So wà tí bàbá ní kò gbé website ilé kò gbé paper ní nǹkan tí yóò ṣe lè gbélé ní nítorí ó kúkú ẹ̀ ló fi ṣe. So a ní kí ẹni tó the new coordinator kó lọ ṣí tiẹ̀ in his own name too in South Africa because the laws of all these countries are almost the same. Nigeria nìkan ní olófin Nigeria nìkan ní olófin anybody lè ṣe account mẹ́wàá around lè ṣe 100 accounts. So that is the thing. So she is a very very useful girl. To then stress anybody anything she decides to do she goes in there she does it. Uses her money, tẹ́ bá fún padà déédéé bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ fún it's okay. So ká wá fi yẹn lẹ̀ ká lose irú ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn òun ló ṣe sẹ́ pé tó bá jẹ́ coordinating the diaspora ni ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́lòmíì máa ṣe lọ kóun fèsì diplomatic ìbò kiri tó ń bá wa ṣe yẹn so that's why we didn't want to lose her.
Ǹjẹ́ bàbá ní ẹni ìsìn tó fi ṣe tó ṣe tó wọ́n ta?
That's the question next I was about to ask. Yeah, someone asked that. Okay, so pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tí wọ́n rí bàbá ṣe yọ wọ́n.
Ó ní wọn ò fẹ́ dáwó Ṣọlá ò fẹ́ dáwó kò fẹ́ fún àwọn béèrè owó fún kíní but by that time tọrọ Sunday Igboho máa fi ṣẹlẹ̀ tó máa fi dọ̀rọ̀ kó máa dé court accusation yìí ti ń pọ̀. Ike bàbá ń gbowó wọn nǹkan tó ń fowó ṣe wọn ṣe so all the coordinators yẹn ọkọ dalẹ Ṣọlá lórí mi all the coordinators yẹn pátá except maybe ti South Africa àti ti one girl ní Canada Bọ́lá Sanda nìkan náà ṣe fún bàbá lówó all the other náà ò sanwó mọ́ àfi táwọn bá mọ nǹkan tí.
bàbá tó ń ṣe.
Meanwhile.
No account details.
No kini on also okay.
No
for
right
example
account.
see bàbá ní nígbà tí wọ́n máa ṣàkáǹtì fèmí that was my initial position was treasurer. Wọ́n sọ fún mi pé 9.3 million lọ́ọ́ kó fún lọ́ọ̀yà Sunday Igboho ní
Benin Republic.
Nígbà àwọn tàbújá béèrè 7 million àwọn ti kó 3 million it is documented. Tí Ìbàdàn mo rò pé later discover pé ẹ̀gbọ́n àbí brother ìyàwó Sunday so ìyẹn ní kọ́fì òun sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú máa yanjú ẹ̀. Nígbà tí Sunday máa sọ̀rọ̀ from prison ó ní kò séyàn kankan tó fún un àbí gbogbo ìṣàlẹ̀ kan ó ní kéèyàn kan máa ní òun help òun nobody helped him òun lòun sọ bills òun fún ara so where did that 9.3 million 7 million 3 million ti kó lọ.
That's almost 20 million.
Àwọn lawyers Èkó nìkan ni mo rí confirmation lẹ́nu wọn tí mo torí mo mọ àwọn yẹn táwọn yẹn sọ pé wọ́n ti sanwó fáwọn. Abuja did not say anything. Ti Sunday Igboho did not say anything. So ara rùn wàhálà táwọn rí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ owó ìyẹn. Wípé àwọn èèyàn owó ìkẹ́dẹ̀rẹ̀ diaspora ló dà. Diaspora ló dà. Àwọn owó tá a kàn fáwọn detainees ní àwọn dá díẹ̀ ń bí àwọn individuals dá even yẹn owó diaspora ló pọ̀ jù nínú owó àwọn detainees yẹn. So ṣé mo when people keep àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn ṣé àwọn bọ́ ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ London ìjọ náà bá lọ́ọ́ bí iṣẹ́ wọ́n máa yọ owó ìjọ yẹn kúrò. So kí àwọn kó yẹn lẹ̀ kò máa rí result lórí ẹ̀ it's unfair. So ọkàn àwọn àdáyé Ṣọlá lórí tí wọ́n fìdí pé gbogbo owó kíní ọ̀dọ́ ẹ̀ ló ń lọ kó dẹ̀ tó sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Wọ́n bá the last owó tó wà ń bẹ̀ àti afẹ́ pín iṣẹ́ yẹn kó ní Ṣọlá èèlò ló kò lákàntì ó ní 3,000 kíní kan ó ní kó gbogbo ẹ̀ round it up mo 3,000 fi ránṣẹ́ sí bàbá wọ́n dẹ̀ kó ránṣẹ́ sí kíní ó ní ta ni ó náà ń béèrè pé ta ni kóun kò fún ọ ní kóun kò fún ṣùpọ̀ òjò that is by the Ìlànà lọ́ọ̀yà ìyẹn dẹ̀ gbà ìyẹn dẹ̀ sẹ́yìn kíní sí mi lóòótọ́ pé òun gbowó yẹn bàbá dẹ̀ ṣe ní òun òrùbó gbà mo ní bàbá ẹ lọ bí lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn owó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ àti bàbá ti dákẹ́ so it's all a matter of money but àwọn ètò kù yẹn I don't know why orí Ṣọlá náà dà ní because gbogbo wọn náà agree fáwọn òní sanwó a lot of them and it is affecting iṣẹ́ tiwa gbogbo affect iṣẹ́ nínà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn làwọn kan ti gbójúlé kí wọ́n máa fún wa lówó tá a máa fi ṣiṣẹ́ nínà àwọn ó gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn sí so we have to àwọn gan láti clean ara wa out kọ́ mọ̀ pé ẹni owó táwọn bá kó lẹ̀ àmì láti ṣe
àmàṣà
We can't blame them.
Me too, I will do the same thing now. I say, follow it, I can't.
So, nǹkan tó fà á nìyẹn kì í ṣe pé bóyá anything ọ̀rọ̀ owó yìí náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀. So, as I said, we all contribute close to 20 million. And ta contribute torí ẹ̀ sọ pé wọn ò rí nǹkan kan kọ́ ìyàwó wọn ò rí help from anybody. Nǹkan tọ́mọ yẹn sọ is very weighty. Èmi kan bínú sí pé ṣé ó yẹ kó sọ rẹ̀.
It was very short when we had it. Very short.
Yeah, but that was what happened, so that's what I said.
Very short.
Yeah.
And again, mo fún tún sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ media. Like now, a ní àwọn media tó ń perform lórí struggle ìtàtí lọ́tọ̀ bíyà láti ara Nàìjíríà. So at least ó yẹ tí ariwo bírò àwọn media méjì mẹ́ta tá a dẹ̀ mọ́ pọ́ wà fún sí struggle tọ́sẹ̀ wà ní bíbá ilé mi. So mo wá mọ reason tó fi lè wà. Nítorí mo check media kan tó dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó ẹ̀ tó ó post ẹ̀ lórí platform ẹ̀ tí mi wò lórí bí mi ṣe ń bọ̀ bíbá lórí this press statement from Ilana pé dákọ̀ adé maso or something like that ni pé wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ pé àwọn kan government sponsor ni pé so wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ fún government láti blackmail Professor Banji Akintoye. So now we need to know why those media are not with us today.
The government sponsor one. You probably see everybody here, but our sponsor one. So what I did was that since it's a Yoruba affair, I decided to pay with the newspaper man, Timo Fisher consultant. Let's keep it strictly to the main Yoruba. Or not really identify one for me. The Tribune, Nation, Punch, Atigaja. If I may say nations. Olóní ká fi sí pé ó ń travel pé paper yẹn travel Abuja because àwọn ará Abuja rí whatever happens. I didn't want nation because of Tinubu, because why would I be giving Tinubu? I don't buy the paper but tó ló máa wúlò, no problem, anything for Yoruba. No, it's true, I don't kà ń lè rà, so Aláròyé akànfẹ́ àhálà insist Aláròyé fúnra wa nítorí Yorùbá language, it will be able to go down to the masses because everybody gbogbo ló ń ka paper Aláròyé lọ́dẹ̀ lis ten sí music nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe pọ̀ nìyẹn. That's why we only stayed with the four that we could afford. So wa la fi ṣe, nobody gave us any money. Àkáàdì mo gba dollars yẹn ni gbogbo bí ìmọ̀ fún mi ẹ̀ ní lóbi. Àlọ́dún hall kan ní
hotel láti máa lọ lò.
So we used it.
Ọ̀fẹ́ ni bí ìyá
àsanwó bí.
Àwọn tó ń di ìbọn fún wa lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ yìí sì ìyàwó lè lànà. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bá a ṣiṣẹ́ yìí ìtọ́jú ìkíni ìlànà ní gbogbo wọn. A ní sanwó fún wọn. So meanwhile àwọn sọ́pà ti gba dọ́là àti gba gbogbo ẹ̀. Nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe rí wọn nìyẹn. Ṣe bí o ti mọ. Statement lásán ni mo fẹ́ kọ ká gbé sórí WhatsApp. Làwọn èèyàn ní rárá o pé we must do like a press conference so that the news will go far. Everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Oduduwa nation.